We're not retaliating against Donald Trump with trumped up political charges. Our city in New York is out of control in terms of corruption and murderous crime, and they're wasting resources on a fringe benefits case against a major employer in the city. What an outrage. Speaking of oppressing political opposition, it was terrible news again this week for President Trump, who was again victimized by his political opposition in New York. You have Letitia James, who is the New York Attorney General, who ran for office on a platform of attacking Donald Trump, and basically said she was going to go after him once she was Attorney General of New York, which that was a campaign promise she kept. And Cy Vance, who was the district attorney for Manhattan, an elected Democrat. And it looks like what they did was they decided they were going to investigate the Trump Organization. Not because there was any good faith basis to suggest they had done anything illegal, but because they hate Donald Trump. That's my opinion. And it's a retaliation for the fact he was president. And it's obviously a way to keep him in a box if he dares to run again for president. And sure enough, they came up with these Podunk, I call them Podunk or petty charges against the Trump Organization and his top CFO, who had been there, I think, 40 years, Allen Weiselberg, on alleged tax evasion charges at the state level, on supposedly additional income he received in terms of fringe benefits that he supposedly was supposed to pay taxes on, and that the Trump Organization was supposed to pay taxes on. I mean, does that sound to you like a criminal case? Indeed, the New York Times, when first reporting on this, their experts said they never heard of anything like this before. At best, this is an audit type situation, if that. And I don't believe, frankly, and I don't, Cy Vance and Letitia James, who's been his partner in this regard, I don't believe anything they do in this. I issued a statement. These petty charges against President Trump's company and employee arise from political animus against Trump by Democrat New York politicians. Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, Joe Biden, James Comey, Robert Mueller, and now Vance and Letitia James all abused power to target, harass, and violate the civil rights of President Trump. These new charges are another affront to the rule of law, and they're obviously an attempt to hamper any potential campaign by Trump if he wants to challenge Joe Biden. And we've been second to none in exposing and often thwarting the government abuses targeting President Trump and other innocent Americans. And you can see the job isn't done. There's more to be done. And it's never going to stop. Trump is never going to be stopped in terms of harassment. And this particular abuse, it goes back to Mueller. It goes back to the corrupt and out of control Justice Department. They handed the baton to the Southern District of New York, which is a U.S. attorney office that answers to the Justice Department. It's a federal agent. It's the federal prosecutor up in New York. Anti-Trumpers all. They harassed Trump there, and then they handed the baton to the local hacks in New York. This is terrible. And it's and if you're an honest American, you should be embarrassed and worried for the entire nation. This is third world type of corruption. And I want you to put yourself in the place of the gangsters running Russia and China when they are criticized by those of us in America for the way they conduct their justice systems against their political opponents. And they look at us and think, who are these people kidding? Look at what they're doing to Trump. And they're going to criticize us. It makes us look like fools. It diminishes our reputation for human rights. This is a human rights abuse, in my view. I mean, if Andrew Cuomo had any gumption, and I know he would never do this, he would pardon everyone involved. He said, I'm not doing it. But we're not doing this. We're not retaliating against Donald Trump with trumped up political charges. Our city in New York is out of control in terms of corruption and murderous crime, and they're wasting resources on a fringe benefits case against a major employer in the city. What an outrage. What an outrage. So we're going to investigate this. We're going to push for the truth here, and we're going to stand for the rule of law here. I know it's not cool anymore to protect and defend the rule of law, and specifically Donald Trump, from being victimized. But I don't care. The President of the United States can be targeted by his political opposition in such egregious and criminal ways, then we got a real problem.
Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all the latest news from Judicial Watch.